Okay, picture this. You're in a bind. Maybe an unexpected bill just hit and you need cash, like yesterday. So you're scrolling, maybe on Tikigram, right? And bam, an ad pops up. Looks totally legit, promises an easy loan. Seems like, well, the perfect fix. You click, you apply, money shows up. Problem solved. Well, for way too many people, that simple offer, it turns into an absolute nightmare. It drags them from just needing help into, well, unknowingly committing serious crimes. Today, we're really digging deep into this whole world of unlicensed money lending. We're going to unpack how it preys on people who are financially stretched thin, how totally innocent folks can get caught up as unwilling helpers, and we'll zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture of digital scams that, exploit trust and desperation.
Yeah, and what's really striking, I think, is how these scams almost always start with something that looks like a simple solution, a fix for a real pressing problem.
Mm.
And our deep dive today, it's really anchored in a pretty chilling real-life case from Crime Watch 2025 EP4. It gives us a stark look at this web of deception and the really serious consequences that follow.
Okay, let's get right into it then, starting with Ida's story. The source, it just jumps right in pretty dramatically. Ida, she's a domestic worker, and she's getting these awful, threatening calls nonstop from a moneylender, just piling on the pressure for immediate payment. Reading it, you can almost feel the panic, right? Her phone just ringing and ringing.
Absolutely. And she's terrified her employer is going to find out. That's a huge fear.
Yeah, so she's begging for more time just until her next payday.
And that's the moment. That's when the hook comes in. The caller acts like they understand, saying something like, look, I'm not heartless. Just do this one simple thing for me and I'll wipe your debt clean.
Hmm.
And that simple thing, that's the trap door. That's how they pull people deeper in.
It sounds so easy, doesn't it? Just
Yeah.
a small favor.
Exactly. It preys on that immediate desperation,
Yeah.
offers a way out that seems painless, but it's just tightening the noose.
And, Ida's situation, it's not unique. The source also mentions Davina, another domestic worker. She's got a family emergency. Her mom needs surgery, and Davina just doesn't have the money. She'd already tried asking her employer for an advance, hit a dead end there.
So what does she do? Like so many others.
Right, she goes online, starts looking around, and she finds these loan ads on Tikigram. And here's the really scary part. They looked so convincing, even said they were registered companies.
And that's the key tactic, isn't it? The illusion of legitimacy. On platforms people use every single day, these ads are crafted, very carefully to look official, makes it incredibly hard for someone under stress to spot the danger. It's pure psychological manipulation.
So, going back to Ida, the source details her first loan. It was with this company called Cash Tank Financial Corporation. Borrowed $445 for her sick aunt. Dealt with a guy named Sam. He made her send a photo of her work permit, her employer's phone number.
And promise not to contact the employer, right? That critical lie.
Exactly. The repayment was set up $242 a month for 3 months. She paid it through her daughter back in Indonesia. Then she borrowed again, a second time, and paid that back too. So far, maybe it seems manageable, albeit risky.
Building a false sense of security, perhaps?
Seems like it. But the third time, she borrowed more, $890. And that's when she couldn't keep up. She just couldn't make the payment.
And that's when the mask really slips.
Totally. Things get dark. A new guy, John, not Sam, calls her up and the threats start immediately. Pay the $890 now, or he tells her employer everything.
Using that fear as leverage. Classic intimidation.
But then John offers this twisted solution. Says I'll cancel the debt if Ida sets up a new Tikigram account, the MSJ ENI account, he called it. And then she has to start posting their loan ads for them.
It's fascinating, in a grim way, how the debt itself becomes a tool. Not just for getting money back, but for forcing someone into, criminal activity. It's coercion, plain and simple, exploiting her fear to make her complicit. She becomes an unwilling part of their operation.
Meanwhile, the police are getting involved. They'd noticed a spike in reports about these illegal money lending ads on Tikigram. They tracked the ads, linked them back to this MSJ ENI account, and eventually they identified the owner, Ida Yuliati, a domestic worker who'd been in Singapore for 14 years with a completely clean record.
14 years, that's significant.
Absolutely. And when they arrest her, the source says she's genuinely bewildered, just completely confused. She keeps saying, I only posted them. I didn't know it was illegal. I didn't know they were loan sharks. You can imagine someone hearing this and thinking, come on, surely she must have known something was wrong. What do you say to that reaction, given the pressure she was under?
It's a natural reaction, but it highlights just how effective these coercive tactics are. Legally, though, it's crystal clear. The law states By posting those ads, you are assisting in unlicensed money lending, whether you meant to or not, whether you knew the full extent or not.
Ignorance isn't a defense.
Exactly. And that's the tough reality. For you listening, the key thing is the act itself makes you complicit in the eyes of the law. Even if you feel like a victim yourself, the consequences are real. Vigilance is just so important.
And those consequences are severe. For a first-time offender just assisting these
Yeah.
operations, you're looking at fines from $30,000 up to $300,000, plus potentially up to 4 years in prison
Oh.
and even caning up to 6 strokes.
It's life-changing, not just a slap on the wrist.
Oh, way.
And zooming out again, Ida's story, sadly, it fits a pattern. These unlicensed moneylenders, they deliberately target the financially vulnerable. They know who's desperate, who might feel they have nowhere else to turn. It's a predatory business model, pure and simple, and it causes huge societal harm.
But there is a bit of a positive angle here. The source does point out that public vigilance played a big role. People saw those ads, reported them, and that helped the police build their case and eventually make the arrest.
That's crucial. Community awareness and action make a difference.
Yeah, and if you see something suspicious or know someone involved, there's a helpline. 1-800-255-0000. Your information is kept confidential. Okay, so Ida's story shows how vulnerability can be exploited in the loan context. But what does this mean for you more broadly? It's not just about loan sharks. Let's talk about other ways criminals misuse trust and desperation online, starting with something maybe unexpected. Your SIM card.
Right, your phone's SIM card.
Yeah, criminals are using local SIMs, or even eSIMs that aren't registered to them. They use these to offer fake loans, run other scams, and one telltale sign. Often, the messages or calls won't have that +65 prefix you normally see on local numbers.
So someone might offer you, say, $50 to use your old SIM for a bit, or ask you to register one in your name for them, maybe claiming they can't for some reason.
Sounds harmless enough, maybe. A small favor.
But it's really not. Selling your SIM, letting someone else use it, helping someone register one under your name, even just holding onto multiple SIMs for dodgy purposes, these are all illegal activities. Your SIM is tied directly to your identity. Think of it like your ID card almost. It needs protecting.
And the penalties reflect that. Misusing SIM cards can lead to fines up to $10,000, jail time up to 3 years, or even both.
So the advice is pretty straightforward.
Keep your SIM cards safe. Keep your personal details safe. Don't sell them, don't lend them out, don't let anyone use your details to register a SIM. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Basic digital hygiene, really.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to another massive area: investment scams. The numbers here are just staggering. The source mentioned victims lost $320.7 million just in 2024. That's enormous.
It really is. And it shows this isn't just a niche problem. It's hitting a lot of people hard. People trying to grow their savings, secure their future.
Yeah. And the way these scams start often falls into 3 main categories. 1, someone contacts you online, maybe social media, dating app, whatever. You build a rapport, but you've never actually met them in person.
The distance creates a shield for the scammer.
2, you suddenly find yourself added to some random investment chat group full of hype and amazing promises. And 3, fake online ads, just like the loan shark ads Davina saw, but promising amazing investment returns.
And the scammers are patient. They work hard to earn your trust first. They might share fake testimonials, maybe even fake endorsements from celebrities or financial gurus.
Right, making it look super credible.
But the really insidious part, often they'll let you make small profits at the beginning. You invest a little, you see a return, you withdraw it easily.
So it feels real. It builds confidence.
Precisely. It lowers your guard, makes you think, okay, this is legit. And then you start investing larger amounts. Those small early wins are often the most dangerous part. They're designed to override your natural skepticism.
And then, inevitably, when you try to withdraw the larger sums, your supposed earnings, poof.
The money's gone, the advisor disappears, the website vanishes. That's when the victim realizes it was all a sham.
So how do you protect yourself from this kind of trap? The source recommends using the AC2 framework. ACTA is for ACT. Take proactive steps. Install security features like the Scam Shield app. Use money lock features offered by banks. Also, really important, go into your messaging app settings, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever, and change the privacy settings so random people can't just add you to groups.
Good practical steps. Stop the approach before it happens.
Then C is for check. Always verify. Before investing, check the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the MAS website. They have a list of licensed financial companies. Also check the Money Sense website for reliable investment information. Crucially, Only deal with companies or individuals regulated by MAS. If they're not on the list, walk away.
Due diligence is non-negotiable.
And finally, T is for tell. If you encounter a suspicious investment offer, or worse, if you realize you've been scammed, report it immediately. Tell the authorities, tell your bank. The sooner you act, the better the chance, however slim, of potentially recovering funds or stopping others from being victimized.
And this really brings us back to a wider point, doesn't it? How do we collectively push back against these constantly evolving scams? Ida's case, the SIM card misuse, these investment frauds, they all show that it takes more than just individual caution. It requires collective vigilance, reporting, and using the channels available.
Yeah, definitely. Ida's story and everything else we've discussed, it really hammers home how easily appealing offers can hide serious danger. It highlights the huge legal risks, even if you get involved accidentally, and thankfully it also shows there are concrete steps we can all take to protect ourselves.
It's a constant reminder, really, to stay alert, think critically, especially in this digital age where things move so fast and it's easy to get swept up. The line between a real opportunity and a clever trap can be incredibly fine.
So thinking about all this, as we navigate this world overflowing with information, offers, opportunities flying at us constantly, how do we get better at telling the difference? Discerning genuine help from, well, from cunning deception, especially when these scams are designed so carefully to hit us where we're vulnerable. What more can we do? What extra checks? What community support systems can we maybe build to shield ourselves and protect others from becoming the next Ida, the next victim?